Kiddushin, Perakama, Daf Lamed Aleph. My Dichsiv, Yoducha Chulu. What is it? This that's written that they'll recognize you and acknowledge you. Ein Mashkaz Mizeb Bibuch Tafresh Tezvav. Look what it says in the book of Maamar Hasidish from Tafresh Tezvav. Ein Mizeb Be Penun Yud Pninim Yukari maybe. Parshas Yisro Daf Pei Aleph Aleph Hakeder Shar Mem Hey Vavi Hamudim Pei Zayin Daf Yud Gimel Amud Beis Besofa Ein Yaakov Daf Lamed Daled Amud Aleph. Pasuk Yudu Chatilim Kuf Lamed Ches Daled Medir Shaba Kuf Lamed Beis Daled Kuf Lamed Gimel Gimel Reish Chaf Hey Beis Reish Chaf Hey Gimel Reish Chaf Vav Gimel Shallah Kuf Tzadik Aleph Shinun Ches Beis Bechaye Kuf Yud Ches Beis. It's a nice maramakomas. Hine Inyan Anochi Vaylukecha. Now, concerning the concept of I am Hashem, your Elokecha, I Bilukuti Torah B'dibur Hamaskil Azinu Shamayim Durish Arishon Perek Daled Daf Ayin Beis Daled Anochi Hu B'chinas Atzmuso Muhusos. Anochi is his essence and being. Niskala Lihios Elokecha was revealed to be your Elokecha. Shura Miskala B'cha. What does Elokecha mean? That it dwells and is revealed in you. Aidei B'chinas Havaya, through the Havaya. So Anochi is the essence, and I am Elokecha through Havaya. So it's Havaya Elokecha. Anochi Havaya Elokecha. Should seem to be spashtus that Havaya is the contraction and spreading out downwards to reveal it. Even though, even without this, the neshamos themselves come from the Shem Havaya. So what's the difference then between this revelation and what's there already? Yishlomar k'moshikazu b'dibur hamaskalo ava parshas teitze b'inyan ki ahavcha v'lo havaya lokecha chulu. Could say, like it says in the Maamar, in Parshas Balak, I'm sorry, about in Kitzer about Bilam and the story of Balak, that Hashem didn't want to listen to him. Because Hashem loved you. So it uses the names Havaya Lukecha, that Hashem loves you, Hamshacha, through Havaya Lukecha. Hamshacha Mesos Spheros Aganuzus Chulu, drawing down from the 10 hidden spheres. Final idea ki Asher Kedeshana b'mitzvos v'tzivonu. I'm not sure what that means. That he commanded us and attached himself to us. I'm not sure how that's connected to Ezer Spheros or Genuzus, but in general, we're talking about the Mshacha from Atzmos through Havaya Elokecha. Lo Yelecha, so that's Anochi. Anochi Havaya Elokecha is Hamshacha that's similar to Asher Kedeshanu b'mitzvos v'tzivanu. It's similar to Ahevcha Havaya Elokecha. So Lo Yelecha, that you should not have for yourself, which is the second one of the dibros, Shlo Yihya Avonosechem Avdilim, is that you shouldn't have any sins that separate you. I guess after he explained the whole idea of Yisro, now he's moved on to a different inyan, the concept of the Seres Dibros in the Parsha. I'm not sure if it's connected or not to the rest of the Maamar, or some kind of Hagar, an aside here. Look what it says in the Maamar, the day of Shmini. It says about the wise son. I'm not sure if it's talking about the Ben Chacham from Haggadah or the Ben Chacham Samachav or something from Mishlei. Vayin mashakos b'hargos lidibur hamaskal v'asisa tzitz minyan anochi v'lo yelcha gabi kadesh kodesh lamed lamata. Look what it says about the tzitz, where it brings the idea of these two first dibros of I am and you shouldn't have any other, where it talks about kodesh laHashem on the tzitz. The kodesh is below and the lamed is the kodesh lamed is below, and the Hashem is above. So I guess that's similar to the Havaya Lukacha maybe, or the two dibros. I'm not sure what the two lines on the tzitz correspond with here. In the pasuk Rishon the Shema. Now the first pasuk of Shema hu kabbalas dibor anochi ve'lo yelecha kamo shekasov b'makom acher. So it's like accepting Hashem as the existence as one, and admitting that there's no other. So that's Shema, the first pasuk of Shema. It's like the first two dibros. It's equated with them. Vinyan Kabbalazu, and this acceptance, it's also like the verse, you should know today and place it upon your heart, that Hashem is the Elohim, there's none other, which is the idea of that Hashem is one. That milvado and Havayahu Elohim is just like saying Hashem is one in Shema. Look what it's brought about, the idea of with the attribute of judgment and the attribute of mercy. Maybe it's talking about the creation was created both with the attribute of judgment and the attribute of mercy, which I guess might be Havaya and Elohim, or these two ideas of Anochi and Yolo Yelecha, possibly. I'm not sure how that would connect the idea of all Hashem desired that he did, was the union of Kitzer. V'nei Amar Zal Zohar Rish Parshas Yisro Shemat and Torah Hay Al Yidei Shehuda Yisro Ata Yadai Tichulu. So maybe it's going to connect back now where it brings what it says in Zohar in Yisro, that Matan Torah happened through Yisro acknowledging. Like he brought before the pasuk in Tehillim, Yeducha. Yeducha mim Elokim, Yeducha mim kulam. And that Hodi Yisro's Hodah is the preparation for the Matan Torah. So the Zohar also asks the question that it implies in Medrash Vaischanan that he brought before, that he seems to give a mamash to other things. It's written that there's no other. Why is he saying that it's more than the other Elohim? So the Zohar says, but it's written that this opposite this made the Elohim. And it's written that Hashem is testing you. So it's talking about that he overcame the test. That test that Hashem placed within creation, if you overcome it, so that's what it means when Yisro says, now I know Hashem is greater than all the Elohim. Then the tests that were from Zeluma Ze'asa Elohim, I guess. Look what it says about the idea that Elohim created to do. Asos is latakin. But the concept is because there's the concept of as he fills creation and as the Eibishter encompasses creation. So memalakol almi, that he fills creation, he fills the world. That's like the concept of the image of man. That there's levels. Yirakia, that there's a firmament, v'yihi mavdil, and that there's a division. Like the this krum is like some kind of skin that separates within the stomach of a person, between the higher limbs of breathing and the lower limbs of digestion and so forth. That's like the rakia, the firmament in the heavens, divides between the heavens and the earth. And it's all within Memalek Olamin that he feels creation, with division and levels. And because of this, he draws down a level of hiding, because there's something that separates until you have a concept of this opposite, this mipalga from this level that's, and what's higher is one thing, and this from this and it's lower is another thing. Meaning to say there's division and hiding in the lower levels. And this hiding is like the sun in its sheath, that is corresponds with the name Elohim, that covers the name Havaya, and from it comes a physical barrier between the sun and those that receive from it. Look what it says about, and your name will no longer be Avram, but Avraham. That he's not going to be high, but there's going to be a hey there. I guess that's the, will enable people to receive from that high Father. Now the Malachim are also called Elohim, because they are the messengers of the flow from the name Elohim, and they're completely nullified. And that's the idea of the pasuk, higher upon higher guards, and the one that's above them, as was explained in Sif Vav, that he's the one that's above them, that they can only do anything with the flow from above. But from this can gradate downward until you have other Elohim. That is to say, Gamkin Malachim that is to say, angels that are not in a state of nullification, but as so to speak, that seem to be in existence for themselves. And they get the nourishments from the 120 lower combinations of the name Elohim, like it was divided from in this Maamar, according to the teaching of the Shalah, that there's Mikal Elohim is Kuf Kaf Tziruf Elohim in Kedusha, and Kuf Kaf Tzirufim on the other side. A Molek based on Kuf Kaf Chul, and like we said, that this Molek is the gematria 2 times Kuf Kaf. And this is the mistake of the idol worshippers, that they call them the Elokah of the Elokaya, of the Elohim, because they get a nurturance from Elohim, and these Elohim are a state of yesh that seem to exist on their own, chas v'shalom, and hide their true state of nullification that they should have, because they really only get from Hashem. But the truth is, it's written that he sits high, and goes down. He's the one who does everything above and below. And that's what it means, that as Hashem is the Elohim, there's no other. Other than me, there's no Elohim. Because also this hiding, let there be a firmament, and so forth. All of this is only in comparison to as he fills creation, as he fills the worlds. But as he encompasses the worlds, this is Shema v'sa'aretz ani mole b'ashva achas. He fills the heavens and the earth equally. And this that it says that Hashem is great. That is even on the level of that he fills the worlds. Now that I know that Havaya is great, that's to say that even on the level of a Malakol Amin, that it seems to be that there's this opposite this. Nonetheless, he's still great. Because we see that which they had plotted was against them. That's because that which fills creation and that which encompasses creation, he's all one Eibishter. He's the same one that's encompassing as filling. Only that within, as he fills creation, he's a hidden God. And in a revealed state, in Soviv Kalamin, it says that I am the one. That in Soviv it's revealed. And about this it says there's no other. And upon this it says that he's great. Even though it seems that there's some kind of ruling to the ministers that are called Elohim, but nonetheless he's still greater than them. To the point where he does whatever he wants, and they don't actually have any ruling. And with this concept of the pot that they cooked, we can preface the idea that she smelled the leftovers in the pot. So this seems to be all a Kitzer, still in the Kitzer, either from the last couple of paragraphs, or it's starting the Kitzer of the Maamar. As we see, we're going to go into more paragraphs of Kitzer. Now we're talking about the Kitzer, about what he said about the Tzike Kedera. And the other side you have the pot and the meat of the trampled field. Because you have in holiness the smell of the field that Hashem blessed. That's why this paragraph is so difficult and to grasp, because it's just a Kitzer of what he said before. It's not fully explained sentences. But at any rate, so you have this field and holiness, the field that Hashem blessed, and you have the field on the other side as well. It talks there about that if a man finds a woman in a field and so forth, and that's the field that's in the negative, that the field is treif. And so what's this so great about this, that they were cooked in their own pot? Now we have this revelation in the time to come that it says, look, now that I am the one, it's drawn through the Anochi Hashem L'kecha. So with this that he says, maybe it's just hinting to the beer that he gave about that before, because it doesn't seem to be following up with this, with the Gilui Lasi Lova. At any rate, so the Gilui of the Atzmos is drawn through the Havai Elokecha, that's through Havai and Elokecha is the positive and negative commandments. And look what it says about, and Hashem Elokecha will give you Havaya Torah, Elokecha mitzvos. That Havaya Elokecha will give it to you is the Torah and the mitzvos will give you your enemies in your hand. That's like serving Elohim. What does it mean, mitzvos or Elokecha? Like the expression to serve Elohim. That serving Elohim is compared, the word oved is like to work the leather skins. And this causes that the sheath should not hide, that the Elokecha, which is the sheath to the Shem Havai, which is like the sun, it should not hide, and the light should come through, in allegorically. Now it seems that this is also the beginning of the Kitzer, because the next paragraph is the Kitzer of Beis. B'Torah or Parshas Tisa. So in Torah or in Tisa, Perush Masha Malach Nikra B'Shem Elohim. So we started this Maamar talking about that the angel is called Elohim, Zeh Mipnei Godel Bitulo Ilav Yizbarich, because it's so nullified. To him may be blessed. And they do not compare at all in comparison to the godly life force that speaks within them. They're only, so to speak, a conduit that through them is drawn the speech and the action below. That's why they're called Elohim, because they're direct conduit of the Elohim above. That's why it's written by Hagar, that the name of Hashem that spoke to her, and that was the Malach, that spoke with her, that, like the Medrash says. At first glance, this is difficult. Only in Atzilus do we say he is one with that which he causes down below. To call it Elohim, to call it Havaya, down below. That now in Atzilus, the vessels are also Elokus. Mamash truly, Mashenkin almost biyah, which is not the case with the lower worlds. They're in a state of separation, like the mountains of separation. We must say that when the Malach is a messenger, it's different. Like it says in the Tanya, brings this idea. This is what it says. That any Malach that's a messenger from above, that's when they're called in the name of Hashem, that's dwelling within them. Which is not the case if it's not in a moment of messenger, being a messenger. It has then its own purpose of its creation, according to the service that it was placed in to do. Then it says Hashem is holy, holy, holy. Why is it saying Kadosh Kadosh? Because the Shem Hashem is separated from it, beyond it. Therefore, it's saying that Havaya is holy and beyond from it. When is it called in the name of Havaya? When the Havaya is not separated from it. It's in it because it's sending it to do Epizazach. That's the end of the quote from the Tanya, explaining this idea that when a Malach is on a Shlichus, then it's different and that's why it'd be comparable to the Kelim of Atzilus, even though in general they're sent down to this world. It's only when they're not a Shliach, as Shem Havaya Muvdal Mimenu, then the name of Hashem is separate from it. Aval Kashu Shliach, Nikra B'Shem Havaya Mamash. But when it's a messenger, then it's truly called in the name of Hashem. But it still needs to be answered. This seems to imply that the Malach is called Elohim, even if it's not a Shliach. Like it says, who is amongst you the strong ones? Amongst the strong ones, Hashem, Perush Ramban. So the Ramban says, that what does this pasuk mean? It means, who is like you amongst the angels of heaven? Shem Nekraim Elim, that they're called the strong ones. V'gam Nekraim Elohim, they're also called Elohim, even without the shlichus. And also, there's another pasuk says, there's none like you amongst the Elohim Hashem. And the Shalah says that this is similar to what Yisro says, that Havaya is greater than all the Elohim, meaning to say, all the Malachim.